This is Joe Lindsley from School in Ukraine. It's Zakhar Pikh, your amazing Zakhar Pikh from Kiev today in Ukraine, because tomorrow Independence Day and I have to be in Kiev. And our dear friend Volodymyr Kebalo from School Ukraine as well. Hello, hello, my friends. What's up? Tell me something about good, please.
Well, so actually, Zach and Volodya lives normally in Kiev, and so you're in his city now. But today is the eve. I mean, we have 30 minutes until Ukrainian Independence Day. There's been a lot.
About the Kiev. It's very hard city to live. You know, even not even if you're walking by your foot, it's very hard because in Kiev you always have to go up. Always. Whenever you have to go, you're going up. What the hell? What's wrong with this city?
Zach, it's good. That's good that you don't go down. You know, it's you always go up.
I think it's good only for girls who want their asses look like amazing peach. That's amazing, of course, but I don't want to. Why I have to go always fucking up? Okay, it was amazing joke for me.
No,
so let's go.
Kiev is I've been there the first time maybe I was in Kiev in the winter, and you're always on your ass because it's so slippery and the streets are so steep and you slide. No, it keeps you healthy, man. It's a good thing. And anyway, before we go on, I just want to say that tomorrow in 22 minutes it's Ukrainian Independence Day. And there's a lot of worries about what Putin might do, and so we're speaking in that context. We don't know what's going to happen.
Even my colleagues from Netherlands told me like, "Hey Zach, very important information for you." Some people told us that maybe tomorrow something will happen in Kiev. So if you think that it's very dangerous for you, you don't have to go with us. Okay, you're free. I said, guys, I know because the people from America already told me that. I'm just
Volodya, what's your feeling? I was just talking to you, but what's your feeling? In these strange hours here on the eve of Ukrainian Independence Day.
I'm calm, Joe. I'm calm. I think nothing's gonna happen. Ukraine stands, and tomorrow regular Independence Day. Tomorrow, not even regular Independence Day. Tomorrow, very significant Independence Day because we stood, we defended our country, we are fighting for our country, and you can see on Khreshchatyk Street, like dozens of burned down, like Russian tank over there, and it's a great parade. It's a pity that I'm not there over there in Kiev. So I think it's tomorrow we celebrate that Ukraine stand against Russia, as back during Cossacks times they stood against Moscovites, the Battle of Konotop, when entire Russian cavalry died, like maybe 40,000 of cavalry died or were killed by Cossacks. I think it was like 500 centuries ago. So, and I feel this proud that nowadays we relive this kind of history, that we can defend our country. And Russia will never conquer Ukraine, will never defeat our freedom, our spirit, our democracy, and our nation.
And yeah, I mean, Russia has kept trying, and I guess the hope is that maybe this time, with a decisive Ukrainian victory, Russia will stop. I mean, Russia has to be broken. I mean,
and it will because they are so weak, so stupid, and so fucking Russian. and that's why we'll win that shit. Today I was walking on the Khreshchatyk street, and we have already in the Khreshchatyk that stupid monuments of the burned Russian technique.
Tanks.
And not only tanks, it's also cars, Gaubicers, and other shit. And it look very, very weird and ugly, I think. Like, you walking around that, like, Russian technique, Russian tanks, and all that technique is written by Ukrainian soldiers, like, for Bucha, for Irpin, for Kherson, for Crimea, for Donetsk, for Luhansk, for Mariupol. You will die, and you know, you can feel all that pain looking at that shit. I don't know. For me personally, it was very hard to watch that shit, to see that tanks, and to understand like how many people. No, yeah, that tanks destroyed
all the damage those tanks have done.
people's lives.
And that's what I would say. It was weird, weird emotions and all that. Like this morning, Volodya and I and a few others were in the mountains looking for mushrooms. And the forest is usually a place of peace. But then I'm hearing the news from the American embassy and from friends of mine who, the people who knew that the war was going to start in late February, were the same people sending me warnings today saying, watch out tomorrow. So it was like the highest level of warning. And it's such a juxtaposition.
Exactly. And my broadcast channel said the same. Like, after American warnings, we are afraid even to go out of the hotel tomorrow.
But
so I'm not sure what I will do tomorrow. But I think I will go to Khreshchatyk Street tomorrow during the day in my Vyshyvanka, of course. I have it in my car. So tomorrow it will be Independence Day of Ukraine, and I think Ukrainians don't have to be afraid. Of course, when it will be alarm, we have to hide into the shelters, but still we have to show to the whole world that we are here, we're still alive, and we're still fighting.
Yeah, Volodya, when you were talking about the history of centuries of, and I was reading today from a mutual friend of ours was quoting a Nobel Prize winning Russian writer. She's been a critic of Russia, and she wrote, "A Russian person is not getting ready for happiness. They don't." And I saw these videos today of Russians in Latvia screaming at Latvians for taking down Soviet monuments. And
that's fantastic, but I'm sorry. I want to add your story.
Yeah,
I will add your story about the Latvia and Estonia and Lithuania. A lot of Russians were arrested by police. A lot.
It's fine.
I saw the video. I saw the video now. Even the simple Estonian people who regular speak Russian, they were stopped by the police on the highway, and the police guy from Estonia said, "I'm so sorry, I don't speak Russian. Can you speak Estonian in Estonia with the Estonian passport you have?" And the Estonian guy said him, "Can you call to the another police that speak Russian with me, because I'm in Estonia and I speak Russian, and you
Zach, Zach, I think there's a viral video now in Ukraine about a guy who's trying to get a service at one of the Ukrainian banks in Drohobych city, and he was trying, and he was not even trying, but he was like, okay, he tried to speak Russian and even didn't want to
in Drohobych.
Try speak in Drohobych, yes. And the whole personnel, the whole employee team, completely ignore him. And this is the same
That's
story.
Fantastic.
You are talking about Estonia, and it's not about the guy who don't know how to speak Ukrainian, who don't know Ukrainian. This is the guy
No,
who hates
it was
Ukraine, I think,
I think it was his position, and he
because
have to pay for his
if,
fucking
if
stupid
you watch
position.
that video, he definitely speaks Ukrainian. He was like joking about Ukrainian. This is the bad story about this. Okay, if you don't speak Russian, if you unable to understand Ukrainian, we can help you. Maybe English, maybe some
If
other
you want,
languages.
but if you're
If
stupid
you want.
and idiot, so fuck off.
But if you pretend that you don't speak or you don't understand Ukrainian, and then you are pushing like you wanna get service in Russian, and but the same story about Estonia. Just comparing, you know.
Yeah, it was the same.
Well, and
My darling friends, please excuse me.
wait.
You're
To
fantastic,
close,
but my phone will die in just in a second.
Then shut up for a second. I'll close. But I want to say, this we see like the angry Russians trying to speak Russian, in Latvia, or the situation in Jehovah's. This idea, a Russian person is not getting ready for happiness, and I'll say like Ukraine. Like I saw people in the village square in Skola today for Flag Day, and the people wearing veshivanka already before Independence Day. The nice time in the gazebo, even amid these horrible threats and nuclear fears, Ukrainians know how to be happy. They know how to find happiness. And you know, Zach, you were having shots at Barman Diktat tonight, and so people keep going. And but this idea that a Russian is someone who doesn't know happiness, and there's such a this is a long thing to figure out for the whole world, but there's some sickness in that culture. It's been there for a long time.
They're fucking zombies. They don't need happiness.
And it's the same thing when I see these videos. It's the same thing that we saw from the angry, horrible Germans treating Jewish people and other people horribly in the 1930s. And there's this is a big thing that has to be figured out. But Ukrainians know how to be happy. I've seen it, and I think, Volodya, I like your
No,
confidence
man.
about tomorrow.
I think it's a bad idea to compare Germans and Russians.
Okay, well, that's a big other conversation. So
You know,
but,
because they had shitty ideology
yeah,
and a shitty idea. And
okay.
the
Zach,
Russians
Zach,
and the Russians know the Russians is not the idea or ideology, it's their life, and that's all. They're
Zach,
fucking slaves.
let me chip in. I think
Yes.
maybe it's a bad wording like, to compare Germans to Russians, but we compare Nazis to Russians, not Germans. Nazis.
That's perfect, but
Yeah,
Nazis,
you're
Nazis were Nazis only for 7 years. 7 years. And the Russians lived like that, like this more than 400 years.
because Americans are afraid of comparing things, whatever. But the question going forward is, what's the problem with Russia? I think that's a huge question. The world needs to
It's
answer.
no problem.
But,
It's no problems with Russia.
Yeah.
The world have to understand that it's no problems with Russia. Russia is a problem, and this is a different things. That's all.
Zach,
For example, like
give Volodya the last word.
Germans reason US said we cannot like stop give Russian people visas because we cannot
Zach,
stop
sorry,
giving them
cut
visa
you
because
off.
of their politics.
I feel like we're back on Fox News here. Wait, Volodya, last word.
Yeah, Zach, it's a great point. Actually, I think the question is not what's wrong with Russia or Russians. What's wrong with the West? What's wrong with them? They don't
it's very big. It's
400 centuries. They don't. They haven't been. Let's say they don't understand what's wrong with Russia for 400 centuries.
I have an idea.
And still, we have Western leaders. They say Russia is fine. Russian people okay. It's about only Putin.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
great point, man. Truly, I think
They're
that's
stupid.
maybe
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm leaving, but
So
I have an
yeah,
idea.
we're leaving
Tomorrow at
yeah.
9 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening, I will be on the Maidan Square, and I want to start a talk with you from the Maidan,
great,
and we will make a video on the Independence Day of Ukraine. I will be on
fantastic.
the Maidan,
Yeah.
and we'll talk. Good.
All right, 9 o'clock tomorrow. And Volodymyr, thank you for that point. What's wrong with the West
Thank you.
mentality?
Thank you
This
so
has
much.
been our Speak Freely Yank Daily
Yeah,
War
yeah,
Journal.
yeah. Speak
On
shitty. Day war daily. How you say daily war journal? Yeah,
good
and
enough.
yeah,
Stay
it was
calm,
Joe
stay
Lindsley,
calm,
Zakhar
stay
Pikh, and Volodymyr
calm,
Kebalo.
stay
Volodymyr,
calm. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow will be fine. So
Yeah, I
we'll
hope
speak
I will
tomorrow
be still
later.
alive. Have a good
all right,
night, my
hey,
friends.
Shishlevo and Slava. What do you say? What's the
Slava
greeting?
Ukraini, my friend.
What is the proper greeting for today? Should be for tomorrow. What do we say? We'll try this. Trezu. All right. Trezu. All right.
Have a good night.
Slava Ukraine, Heroin Slava. Love you all. Good night.
Bye.
UkrainianFreedomNews.com.